stream session with Phrankleen. If this is your first time, feel free to hit the like button. If you like what I'm about, smash the subscribe button. Feel free to look through my playlists and smash the bell button so you're notified when I'm online. I hope you're enjoying your holidays. Let's see who is online. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Hit the like button, hit the like button. What's up? What's going on, what's going on, what's going on, people? Ugo Mbali. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Let's get the show started, shall we? Sheena Davis, what's going on? So, for those that are watching me for the first time that are not used to the order of things, Abolaji, what's up? Alida Kelly. This is a segment we call Say It Like It Is, where people send me their stories to foodchannel1960@gmail.com. Look in the description below for my my email address. If you have any trending topics, if you have any personal stories, send it to me. If it's personal to you, I will make you anonymous. That's the #1 priority. The premise of this is if it's something that resonates with me, that we can hopefully learn one or two things from these stories, all right? What's up, Valerie? What's going on, people? Happy holidays, happy holidays. Right, so this story was sent to me by these woman, one of the people that watch my channel like you do. She said, Phrankleen, I'd love you to share the story. This is my story. So she's here in the UK. Now, without further ado, the woman is basically married to this man who's got two lovely kids, and then they're going through hell at the moment. So this is the story. Now, she said they both moved here when they were a bit younger, a few years ago, and then they had their children here. Both of them moved from Nigeria, right? Sorry, I'm a bit sweaty. So let me see if I can do this without my glasses. Now, they moved here, and husband is the firstborn of his own parents. And as it's usually the situation for a lot of diasporans, you know, most would have families back home, siblings and commitments, like I call it, right? And so this woman said, husband is the firstborn of 5 siblings, right? So, and he was basically the first person to travel abroad, and he's got 2 aging, you know, parents back home and all that. Hit the like button if you can hear me, you can see me. Smash the like button so we can gain traction. So anyways, they got here, they had 2 wonderful children, you know, they're living in the UK system. And right from day one, they've always sent money back home to support their families and all that, particularly the husband, right? So the wife said, you know how life abroad is. The agreement as a couple was, you know, they know what they both pull in. They'll have things to do. They've got children to take care of. They've got goals, both personal and combined goals and all that stuff. But then it got to a point where financially they're struggling within the confines of the marriage, within the family unit. Why? Husband works, in fact, he works 2 jobs. He works very long hours. And when they started off, he didn't start off like he was a good man. She said she loves him and all that. But then he got consumed by this badge of, you are the firstborn child. You have to put everyone's responsibility back home on your shoulder. So this guy is basically, according to the story, is taking care of really two of the siblings back home. He's one of five siblings, so he's taking care of two of siblings, and then the last born had a baby by some older gentleman, and then got dumped by the man. He's the one financing the last born as well, so about three siblings, and then taking care of that abandoned, baby, and inclusive of his two parents. So, wife said every calendar month this man sends home, on average, £600. Did you hear what I said? On average, 600. That's so when somebody says on average, for those that understand the term average, that means most times he will send a lot more than that. She said he sends the money home religiously. In fact, the wife said there was a point where the both decided to join hands and buy like a couple of plots of land back home so they can start a project. He said they couldn't. He was shelling out about 600 quid. She said sometimes in excess of 800, £850 on a monthly basis. And basically, when he sends that money home, um, he will he would send it to the sibling that comes directly after him. So basically, give mom and dad X amount of money, you take this, and then money for the last born, and then the daughter buy this and all that. So somebody said, what does he do for a living? I don't know specifically, but the wife said he has two jobs. He has a full time, and I think he does something extra on a weekend. So basically, he religiously sends on average £600, but she said sometimes it goes as high as £800, £850 on a monthly basis. That's a whole lot of bread, man. That's a lot of money. Now, it got so bad that, I think the wife said at the start of the pandemic, she was badly hit. She lost her job when the pandemic started. Before then, they already had back and forth. They already had a lot of arguments, and the woman said, um, because they were both going to a particular church and all that, the story kind of spilled out to the church authorities, and she said, in fairness, that their pastor, according to the story, the pastor of their church is a reasonable man, that there was a day that the pastor called a husband and lambasted him, call him a stupid man for sending home that much at the detriment of his, wife and kids, his family here in the UK, and all that. That's a whole lot of money. I'm not suggesting that maybe your elderly parents, if they truly need help or something on a monthly basis, but if it's gotten to a point where you can't even put bread on the table, your children can't feed, you're struggling to pay your gas and electric bills and stuff, it makes no sense. You yourself, you have two jobs. Now, the wife said to make matters worse, because of the nature of a husband's job here in the UK, said he quickly developed an issue of arthritis along his fingers and I think elbow joints. So that also across some other parts of his body, he had a diagnosis, so he's taking medication. As you know, arthritis doesn't go away. It gets worse and worse as you grow older and all that stuff. So he developed that as well, started medication, and he wouldn't listen. He wouldn't listen. So the long and short, for those that have been watching me for a minute, this topic, I've talked about similar things in the past. And before I carry on, that man is a classic example of what I call emotional blackmail, mental conditioning from back home, especially when you're the firstborn. They they have conditioned you from when you're a lot younger that you have to mandatorily, part with XYZ. You have to adopt this responsibility. And then they will say, why? Because, oh, you are the firstborn. So let me understand this. My parents decided to collide sexually whenever they did so. I wasn't part of the decision. They brought me into existence. I then have to adopt the parental responsibility on their behalf, even at my detriment, at the detriment of my wife, at the detriment of my children. And the wife highlighted that she had a bit of back and forth with a couple of her siblings. And there was a point where she had an argument over the phone with his parents, because particularly his mom was accusing her, even when there was a time they used to get like £500. They kept saying the money wasn't enough. And the mom was making allegation that this wife, sir, are you okay? You sound down. How do you sound down, man? Stop coming on here to say that. What's wrong with me? I'm telling you a story. Are you a doctor? How does somebody sound down? Anyway, as I was saying, so the woman said the guy's mom basically said the wife was the one preventing him from taking care of, his family's back home. So she said even two of her husband's siblings had a lot of crap to say to her, and they would threaten her and say, oh, you wouldn't last in that marriage. Oh, your children wouldn't take care of you when you're older, yada, 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 blah, de, blah, de, blah. In Yoruba language, ojú ẹ máa já, àwọn ọmọ ẹ ò ní tọ́jú ẹ, kíní kan ò ní mú nǹkan kan kúrò nílé ọkọ ẹ. Basically, for those that don't understand Yoruba, karma would deal with you. Your children wouldn't take care of you when you're older. You would leave your husbands, the marriage empty-handed. All of these things were spitefully said to this woman, because they made up the narrative that she was in. And that was when they were getting £500 a month. She said her husband will sweep all of those allegations on the carpet. He would just say to her, like, oh, just forget about it, sweep it under the carpet. He never fought her corner. He did nothing. Now, that was, the case. So the case has basically reached a boiling point whereby they're getting over £600 a month, sometimes 850. Husband is broke. So, like I said, at the start of the pandemic, they were struggling. At the start of the pandemic, they were struggling because wife lost her job abruptly, affected her company, and since the pandemic and all that, she has really, really struggled. And she said she only recently got another job, which is actually a part-time job, and she has always supported her husband. She said some emergency funds that they put aside managed to save. Everything has gone down, and he has this pressure on him. He's not even trying to listen to her. He said every 25th, every month from the 24th or the 25th of the month, the phone calls, WhatsApp messages are already pouring in. If he's late to send the money, there's bombardment. They're calling her phone, they're calling him, and herself and the husband, they've had many arguments. And she even said that as much as she doesn't like discussing her affairs publicly, she was frustrated at some point. She had to speak to her parents, and her own parents actually said, basically, listen to your husband. And she said her mom took a dig at her that, oh, if you were doing half as much as your husband is doing for us, we would be grateful. You only give us money randomly, maybe once in a blue moon when you claim to have it, and we don't talk. So they basically, in a vindictive manner, asked her to keep quiet and sit down. So they weren't ready to, so that's what her family said, and then they just put it aside. Now, that was the situation from, oh, people are doing conversions, 2.95 million annually. Yeah, that's a lot of bread. That's a lot of money. So the church people, the church people, they tried to get involved. They spoke to the man, said a husband stopped going to the church. He started going to another church, and he told the pastor to mind his business, blah, 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 blah. So he's taking care of father and mother back home. He's got about 2 or 3 siblings. And the wife said she was able to do some undercover investigation through some of her friends. And they said, particularly the 2 immediate siblings, said one of them has got a business, and then they said they're doing well, they're not suffering, because one of them is living in the parents' house, and one of them is actually building at the moment, but the husband doesn't want to listen. Somebody said on here, there is a possibility of him perhaps being, I don't know, somebody said maybe being controlled spiritually. Before we even start looking at the spiritual side of things, I think it's the prevalent part of this is the mental conditioning that affects so many people. The belief that usually, oh, you're the firstborn, oh, you are abroad, you are the money-making machine, you've got to do this, you have to adopt emotional blackmail, you have to adopt this truckload of responsibility. So in most cases, there is a transferred parental responsibility to you just because you live abroad. You're literally taking care of adults like you who have inserted themselves into your payroll, into your wallet, into your finance. And I don't care what anyone says, families are the worst. I'm sorry. Some might be saying, oh, my family is great, I'm lucky. Yeah. Most people, if you look at the truckload of palaver that you're dealing with, they emanate from within the family tree, the family structure, if that makes sense. They are the worst, man. They are the worst. They are literally. Now, the reason this type of stories get to me is this is how people keep the cycle of poverty going on. Do you understand what I'm saying? Look at what these £600 a month, £800 a month, nearly £1,000 a month. If this was going into the investment portfolio of this gentleman, if maybe he was able to buy a parcel of land, he's able to join hands with his wife, he manages to build on maybe short-let apartments back home, buys lands, goes into farming. Look at how you'll be able to break the cycle of poverty and hopefully improve the future of your children, even improve the quality of your own life, grow your investment portfolio. This is why these particular stories, they get to me emotionally sometimes, because it's just a case of making the right decision. And there is no way anybody can tell me otherwise. You're shelling money out at the detriment of your immediate family. Who is your immediate family? Your wife, particularly your children. They're young, they're vulnerable, they rely on mommy and daddy. So if it's gotten to a point where you can't even keep the house warm during winter, you can buy your gas, you can't put food shopping. The woman said there was a time when the children's feet had grown out of their shoes, their trainers, and they needed new clothing shopping normally because children are growing. He said she asked for some money to add to a bit of money that she's got, and her husband said that can wait. Now, some would say there are 2 sides to every story. oh, it'd be nice to hear from the man, but I don't think, of course, but unfortunately he's not here. But I don't think that would be some made up lie. £600, six, seven, £850 a month is a huge amount of money to be shelling out. And I've said this before, for those that have been watching me for a minute, go and watch my live stream, which is, if you've not been looking at some of my videos, you've just started watching me recently. I recently was in Nigeria for 3 months plus. Go and look through. You'll see it from the thumbnail, my observation after 3 months in Nigeria. And the reason I talk about these things is to hopefully wake the inner man of at least one person. Because my observation, like I always say to people, there is a code of conduct back home. The moment you have the labeling of being a diasporan, 99.9% of the people that you're dealing with back home, they are pathological liars. In fact, I don't care if they are your mom or your dad. I don't care. They are pathological liars. Very, very few people will, very few people will enjoy relationships with maybe people back home who are being honest and who will basically keep it 100 with them. And most of them, they see you as an ATM. They see you as a means to make money here and now. They're not there to be concerned about, how is this guy surviving? Oh, how are his children surviving? The rent in for the average apartment in London is maybe £1,200 a month or three. They don't care. You can be on the phone, you can record the longest WhatsApp voice note, you can explain over and over. 99.999% of the people back home, they don't care. The worst are the ones that would sit in front of you, talking to you, and pretend like they care. They don't. They don't. They are the laser target, their focus on what they can extort and siphon. It's so bad that you cannot even, something as simple as, can you kindly go from point A to point B? Help me find out how much this is. I'm going to give you money. Take the money, go to point B, pay for this product, and get the receipt, and take the product from point B and take it home. They must extort you. They will absolutely run you to the ground. It's sad. If you're on here, you're watching me tonight, or you watch this back at a later date, and this story, it might not be exactly your story, but particularly those of you that sit in the diaspora and you're playing God, and sorry, who is this, man? 99.9, I've blocked you straight, man. You don't understand what they mean by figure of speech. There's no time for that. You've been blocked. For those that, if you listen and the story resonate with you, right? If you're playing God, you are doing yourself a major disservice. You understand? It's so sad. In fact, the people that defend this behavioral pattern are usually the broke people. I think I've said this before. Some of you diasporans, I think you like the buzz, you like the feeling of, you like the fact that, oh, I am the one that's given X amount of money to such and such back home. I'm paying for their university. I am the one that bought the car for my younger brother. I am the one that's doing this. Tí ayé tí ẹ ò bá gbé pẹ́lí, tí wọ́n ò rí bá ti ṣe tó rọ́nà gbégbà, tó ń kówó, tó ń kó làágùn ẹ, tó ń dànù, olórí ibu ni ẹ́. Fact. If you've not, what I'm saying in Yoruba, I'll say it in English. If you are busy playing God at the detriment of your own life and personal progress and achievement, you are a plain idiot. An idiot in caps lock, king size moron. I think some of you, you catch the buzz. You like the fact that everybody's making reference. But Ashagun in the UK, I want to you're joking. You are the king size moron in the whole equation. I saw it myself. There are plenty of people back home, and I've said this before, I'm going to say it again tonight. The order of things, the code of conduct back home, the people back home they will lie till they enter their grave. The people back home, they will never tell you about their achievements. They will keep asking you for brand new phones. They'll keep telling you that they are suffering. They will tell you Buhari this, Buhari that. Even when the presidency has nothing to do with the situation on ground, they will blame everybody around just to create the narrative. Some of you right now, you're watching me right now. You are busy funding people, and that money you're giving to them is going to their building site. How about that? Some of you, you're shelling money back home. Your money is actually paying for bags of cement, trips of granite, sharp sand. I'm telling you, man. Some of you, you have arthritis. Like they said, this man you're working 2-3 jobs. You're speaking, I want a gunner, want a gunner. It's madness. You are funding. You are basic as hell abroad. You're funding mom and dad. You are funding 3-4 siblings on a monthly basis. Thank you, Pro U Services Limited. You're the one, you're buying their iron rods. You're paying for a bag of, the last time I checked, a bag of cement, 3,500 naira. A bag of cement. The last time I checked, one block for building projects, less than 300 naira. I mean, prices change all the time. The last time, less than 300 naira. A lot of you don't know. Yeah, cement is now 4-5. Of course, prices have gone up. Can you imagine? The last time I was in Nigeria, just a few months ago, 3,005. This is why I keep saying, you don't understand the power behind your Forex. So think about it. If a bag of cement is 4,500 naira, right? Just 10 bags is 45,000 naira. To you, you would think 45,000 naira is nothing. 100,000 naira is nothing. 200,000 naira is nothing. 150,000 naira is nothing. They keep sucking you. They keep sucking you. So, and this is how they make the money. They don't collect the bulk of money from you at once. This is how it works. Everything that you need from the people, most of the people back home, can you help me do this? Can you help me buy this? Can you help me pay for this? They will charge you 3 times the value. They will extort you. They will lie. It will subject you to emotional blackmail. Every calendar month, every scenario, every birthday, every burial, every occasion. And that's how they accumulate the money. You are the ATM guy, and they will extort. I had somebody when I was in Nigeria. I don't know this guy directly, and we sat at a place socializing. He's a friend of a friend, and I was listening. He was bragging openly. He said, Alaye, mon ko ile mi keji right now. It was about 8 of us at the table. He was bragging. This guy was bragging openly. He said he's building his second house at the expense of his older brother in the US. He said all of the money, the funds that I've used so far came from my brother. I'm extorting him nicely. And guess what? The older brother in the US doesn't even have a plot of land in Nigeria. And to make the matters worse, he was openly telling us that his older brother doesn't even know that he has built any property. He believes that I'm broke. He's building business for my wife. He's sending money. He's paying my children's school fees. And he was bragging that I am on my second building project. Did you hear what I said? So, back to the story at hand, briefly, before I carry on. This is exactly what I'm saying. You know, this is exactly what I'm saying. For those that are playing God, I can't do that. And the reason I can't do that is because it's the noble thing to do. I cannot take care of extended family. If I want to give anything to maybe parents and stuff, I can do that. I cannot do that at the detriment of my immediate family. Who is my immediate family? My wife and kids. My kids are my responsibility. We have a joint responsibility for them. I've got to be a madman to be shelling out a truckload of money to some parents and all that at the detriment of my children. But mi ò burú. Bàtáyé mi ò fẹ́ tá gba òbí gúgúrú. Bàtórí mi ò dàrú. And if we leave the issue of children on the shelf just for a split second, right? Let's talk about me as an individual. Let's talk about Phrankleen. I have goals. I have objectives. I have plans. I have things I would like to achieve as a man. When exactly? I'm not getting younger. When exactly do I want to achieve at least one thing in life? If I tima sora mi di eru enikan, I'm leaving, I'm throwing out money at the detriment of myself. When exactly am I going to be able to fulfill my goals in life? This is why I'm telling you, religiosity is a major drug that's destroying a lot of our people, man. You can pray all you want and bang your head against the wall. Your foolishness will be your demise. Why would you do that? Hi, Rita. I remember just before the Christmas, the holidays started, I was sat in a local barbershop and we were socializing, just having a laugh one night. And there was this gentleman, he's a bus driver, and he was telling me in confidence, and he said, Phrankleen, I am the type that I don't normally go home. And then there was a time I decided to go home unannounced. He traveled to Nigeria unannounced. And he said, Phrankleen, the gentleman that I'm talking about is 52-year-old, right? So he said he went to Nigeria one particular December, was it maybe last year or something, unannounced. And he said, Phrankleen, I got the shock of my life. And I said, what? He said, my immediate brother and sister, he said, my brother lives in a 5-bedroom duplex with his wife and 3 children. He said, my sister lives in a 4-bedroom bungalow. She has a catfish farm. My brother, that I normally send like 200,000 naira to every month. He said, he has businesses. His wife sells clothing, like lace, article, all these fabrics, Ankara, and all that. And he thought she was selling foodstuff. He sent her money. And guess what? This brother lives in the heart of London, here in the UK, in his council flat with a wife and 3 children. He works as a bus driver. He's just a basic guy, a basic Nigerian immigrant. Do you see what I'm telling you? I could feel the pain in the brother's voice box. I could feel the pain oozing out of his ears and nostrils. He got to Nigeria and he saw his siblings. And he said, Phrankleen, he said, 5 bedroom duplex. Wife, the immediate sibling, wife drives Toyota Land Cruiser. His sibling drives a Range Rover. So he then went to their elderly mother. So he said, Ayemi, Oda Ejole, he expressed his disappointment. Somebody said bus drivers earn well. Don't get mistaken. We're not talking about the earning capacity. We're talking about what you do with what you earn at your detriment. There's several jobs that people do and they get the money here in the diaspora. People work hard to earn those money. If you start as a brand new bus driver today, you have to move up in ranks to get to certain earnings, capability based on your services and all that. You understand me? I've said this before. People live like gods in Nigeria. You're bought into the propaganda of poverty. Yes, there is poverty in the land. Some of you, a lot of your family members, the way they're living, you don't even live that life here in the diaspora. I know someone, they are regarded as a regular person back home. She has someone that will just babysit for her for a whole day, just to look after her kids, and just if she wants to go out, go A to B with her husband or something, they'll give the woman 1,000 naira. She will eat, they'll give her food and all that, and she will sit with their children. 1,000 naira. As I speak, £1 in the UK is equivalent of 750 naira. Think about it. Can you keep a nanny in your house here in the UK with £1? Do you see what I'm saying? So sometimes in Nigeria, there are some things that they enjoy that you'll be shocked. I saw it myself. 1,000 naira, 1,005. You can have somebody look after children for a whole day. There are some people, even for the whole day, they'll give them 500 naira. They'll take it happily. 500 naira in Ibadan with free food. If you give the person, they have rice or pounded yam or whatever to eat, water, juice, and they get 500 naira, 1,000 naira. You give them a free, put 200 naira on it for Okada. They're coming back tomorrow morning. How much is that? That's peanut here. There are people in Nigeria, they have gate men, they have house helps, they have drivers. How much are they paying them? You're playing God. We live in box apartments. You have a truckload of monthly outgoings. Somebody said 1,000 naira for a whole day. That's illegal. If you want to get into the conversation of what is ethical and stuff, that's a separate topic for another day. You understand me? I'm just telling you the reality. The people that work in your local amala joints and restaurants and stuff, some of them earn 1,000 naira a day for pounding and stirring your amala, cooking the truckload of soup, a wedu, a four, getting the pounded yam, the fufu ready. How much do they earn? You understand me? So think about it. When you shell out this bulk of money, they will use your money to fund their own lifestyle. You, the sender of the money, can only wish. You understand? So the woman said, basically where the marriage is, they are, things have hit the rocks, and they're really, she's contemplating on, she doesn't know. Well, she's contemplating on moving on. She keeps saying, she's unhappy. She's contemplating on moving on because she doesn't know how else to reach to her husband mentally and all that. It's sad because I can't I can't, it's not really about asking the woman to move on. It's heartbreaking. But if the woman decides to move on, because it's basically you're looking at a selfish person who has shown you over and over that they don't care. You understand? It's crazy. And somebody said, do you know, I'm not sat here saying it's the case for everybody, but I can assure you, there are folks back home when it comes to using the flip side of African spirituality. When my dad here, when this issue of money, forex, some of these people, so that's why even you yourself, if you're not fortified, a lot of your siblings, relatives back home, they go into the dark side. They go into the dark side of African spirituality to navigate you, to get you to conform. Some of them, when you speak to them on the phone, they're not speaking to you. You are hearing their voices. You think you're hearing just somebody talking to you. If you're listening to their voice notes, Elomi pẹ̀lú àfọ̀ṣẹ pẹ̀lú àfọ̀ṣẹ. Eze, do you have any build house in Lagos and Lekki phase 1 or 2 build apartment? Send me an email to foodchannel1960@gmail.com. Look in the description below for my email address. Trust me, man. Some of these people, they go really low, they go deep. And I mean deep. They use, dark energies to hopefully control you. So if you're not fortified, you will get along with it. You will do exactly what they want. Ohun tó bá fẹ́ ló láti fẹ́, ó máa máa múlẹ̀ ni. And the moment they test it the first time and it works, lágbájá ọmọ lágbájá, báyìí kàsá, báyìí kàwòdì, báyìí ni kò ṣe máa ṣe. And they just would trap the person and they carry on. Because it's really not normal. You're cohabiting with someone and they really can't get through to you. It's not normal. Even you yourself, you're living in near penury and you keep funding those people month in, month out. It's not normal. It's not. Some of them are on the timeline. They're watching me right now. Some of them are watching. That's why you have to stay fortified. Some of these people, that's why it's quite prevalent, especially for men, when the man is being targeted and the man has his sensibilities going on and he says, no, I'm not going to give you this money. What they normally do, they instantaneously point fingers at the wife to say, oh, the wife is the one in the way. And what they then, some of them tend to do, they find a way to break the union. They try to get the wife out of the way because they are very vindictive. Yeah. Your pound sterling, your dollars, your euros, they're very powerful. Just so that they can keep getting their money, they would do everything and anything to break the union, they would, in extreme cases, they would kill anybody off. If they believe that your wife is in the way or your husband is in the way, they would do whatever, man. They would do whatever to, even in extreme cases, if it's to physically attack, kidnap, obliterate them, oh, they will. Oh, they bloody well will. But then, some might argue that maybe not everybody is being controlled. It's worth mentioning that not everyone is being controlled with negative energies. It's important that we mention that we are Africans. African spirituality is amazing. It's for us. The good side of African spirituality is amazing. All right? The universe, when the universe works in your favor, it's fantastic. But when you have dubious people, if they use the flip side of the same thing against you, it's deadly. And if you're not fortified, more than 2 years ago, thank you for the super chat. I never believed in Phrankleen until I got duped. This man is saving lives. I told my family to fend for themselves now. Thank you, man. It's just logical reasoning. This is not a campaign, to say, we need you to hate your family. No. Okay. Look at this story. If you've watched this from the start, if you didn't, make sure you watch a playback. Look at this story. It's very simple. It's a straightforward one. There's a man here who is foolish enough playing God at the detriment of his children and wife here in the UK, sending averagely £600 a month to people back home. Share to the you are here, you're struggling. How does that make sense? You are neck deep in poverty. Your wife said you can. Unfortunately, I'm sure the woman has been supporting monetarily from the story, but unfortunately, the pandemic affected everybody, even the most educated. Job loss, right? She lost her income and she struggled. She said she just started a new job, and it's a part-time job. A part-time job means reduced income. They got children. And you have husband with the head of a goat, a husband that's designed mentally like a he-goat. He wouldn't listen to his wife. He's shelling between £600 and £800, £850 a month. It's not even like you are, Churchill is laughing. Yeah, he's a he-goat. It's not like you're sending £600-700 to your building project, or like you're building a farm, or you are investing into a particular business. You're doing this at the detriment of yourself and your family. You understand? I'll have some dummies will come into my email. Phrankleen, I get what you're saying. Well, our culture. Stop right there. It's not culture. It's a made-up, toxic culture that's deeply rooted in emotional blackmail and mental conditioning. It's designed for the benefit of the perpetrators of such actions. Simple as that. It's not one culture to beat your chest about and say it's African culture. No, it's not. It's not our culture. It's nonsense. It's madness. Thank you. Absolute madness. It's not our culture. That's not culture. Ori buruku ni here. It's psychological conditioning. See, Michael, thank you for the super chat. You hear this nonsense, especially the older generation. Àwọn àgbà òṣìẹlẹ́sẹ̀ òsì méjì. Àwọn àgbà ìyà burúkú yẹn. That's why you see some of those people, especially watch out for those useless elders. Some of them, you find them in these diaspora settings. They are the ones that always try to uphold the evil actions of the ones back home. They are here with their Panama hats, those Uncle Londons and those aunties that have bleached their skin for the best part of their youth. They always use religiosity to cement that nonsense. Ashawani. Will you keep quiet? If there is any nonsensical adult that sits in front of you that tries to systemically put any nonsense in your head to enable mental conditioning against you, just ask them to lock their jaws and bugger off. Any sensible adult, any good adult, yeah, when they listen and they read between the lines, they will say, whoa, £600 a month. Any sensible adult will advise you to take care of your life, don't turn your back on your immediate family. Because what they normally do is, these people back home, they use their network That's why they like you to be a conformist. They use their networks against you because what do I mean? There's plenty of them with similar mindset. So they will try to get them to get you to conform. They will, the Bible says in the book of, that's why me, thankfully, I am not a religious person. If somebody wants to have a conversation, let that conversation be based on logical reasoning. The moment you say, the Bible says, I will shut you down faster than the speed of light, have a logical reasoning. Because how will you sit in front of me and tell me that there are some grown-up adults back home who I need to insert into my monthly payroll, £600, £850 a month at my detriment, at the detriment of my family? Mr. Phrankleen, now the elder head has gone astray. I don't want to abuse. I think I lose 8,500 US dollars for 1 acre of land, still waiting for the title. I want to buy it now. Steve, I want to buy. If you're still waiting for the title, $8,500 for 1 acre of land. Sheesh. You're still waiting for the title. Ask them, let me give you a tip. This is how you catch the scammers. Ask them to provide you with the evidence of the filing. You can come to me via email. If you want to send me on a service, because, I told you about my business. If you want me to do verifications for you, I'm going to bill you. I'm not going to work for free. But if you want me to help you verify, you pay me. If you have paid for something, and I will charge you money. You understand? Give me the evidence. I will uncover the truth behind it. If it's true, if it's genuinely still pending, I'll let you know. If it's a scam, we will uncover it. There was somebody that bought 20 hectares of land, and there's no evidence. CFO, they've been waiting for their CFO for more than 2 years. There's no evidence of filing. Everything is a lie. It's just for 20 hectares. Imagine how much that is. Multi-millions of naira sent to random family members. Gone. Culture is not culture. We should change some things in our toxic backwards go. Phrankleen, my uncles and aunties use Ifa, and ancestors asks me more than £1,000 a month for ceremonies. What? Let me tell you something, man. They're not using Ifa. £1,000 monthly for ceremonies. Is it okay? That's a lie. Let me tell you, be careful. Ifa ẹlẹ́rìí ìpín, Ifa àsọ̀rọ̀dayọ̀, Ifa àtúnrí ẹni tí ò sunwọ̀n ṣe. Right? Apart from if there is divination and you have to do certain veneration of any of the deities or regarding any revelation, maybe something to fortify you and stuff, Ifa can never, thank you, Ifa doesn't work like that. That's a lie. They're scamming you. Do be careful now. That's a lie. That's a big, fat lie. I can put my neck on the line for that. That's a lie. Ifa would never ask you for £1,000 a month. Oh, Kenny. That's 750,000 naira on a monthly basis in the name of Ifa. It's a lie. Now, let's be clear though. Let's be clear. This is why I say to people, if you are outside the confines of the practice of Ifa, you might be, like you said, now you might be thinking, Ifa. No. It's nothing to do with Ifa. They use the name of Ifa, the concept of Ifa, to defraud you. Do you understand? Never. It's not Ifa. Thank you, Sheyi, for me. I ask you to bring £1,000 a month. Ogun olunja. Abba. That's a lie. That's a big fat lie. Those people, that's exactly what I'm saying. They will create, they use the fear factor. They'll create a false narrative with a bogus babalawo or something. They will lie to you. And then once you absorb the fear, they start controlling you. They weaponize that fear to financially extort you. Simple as that. And then they hope you keep paying for it. Do you know how much that is? 750,000 on a monthly basis. Run, run up the hill, run far. Now, if I was really be rich one, of course. Some people back home scam those in diaspora because they don't want you to prosper. And if it was invested, do you know some of the? Let me explain this. Somebody said that's a full-time salary. Of course, when you break diasporans into groups, the prime targets are the ones in the diaspora. You see, when your people back home, they know you haven't got papers. You understand me? The people, the diasporans that haven't got their papers, they're still dealing with the immigration complexities. Ooh, because the center point of your vulnerability is these charlatans. They know that you can't get on the plane. They know that you're stuck here. So, they will milk you. They will milk you. And I have seen people who, because they got caught in the cycle of waiting for years for their papers, they're frustrated, they're trying to file, maybe they were dating someone and then the person dumped them, they couldn't get money, they're frustrated because they're living in the shadow of the system. The people back home, they know this. So as humans, when you're frustrated, you call them, you then say, "Oh, to sue me," or they will claim to want to do what? Help you. And that's the means of siphoning. I know somebody that said when she had immigration complexities, she watches my channel. She said, Phrankleen, she's got papers now. She's got like the 2.5 years that they give you, and you've got to renew that for like 4 times now, right? But that person said she waited years, she had complexities, and families back home, they extorted her for nearly 6 million naira in the name of paying such and such, helping her to make sure the UK immigration department will call her. He said there was one baba that told her that they will bring her papers to her door without even applying. And she believed it. Think about it. These are the same charlatans back home that they will say, somebody's saying they want to travel abroad. They said they will call you. They will call you. Take your US visa. The US embassy will call you. They will ask you to come and collect your visa. It's just madness. They extorted this person. They took advantage of their vulnerability, their desperation. They're trapped in the shadow of the system here in the West. Do you understand me? They took advantage. More than 6 million naira. Imagine. And I can assure you, that person must have been working with someone else's documents. They must have done whatever they could just to stay alive in the system. It's ridiculous. Imagine what 6 million naira can do to your life. The woman told me, I met her somewhere on the high street, and we're talking. She said she then jumped on the plane when she got the 2.5 years, the paper, limited leave to remain. She went to Nigeria. She said all of her siblings, they were balling in Nigeria, in Lagos. They're living large. One of them lives in Magodo in his newly built multi-million naira house. They are balling. They're driving nice cars. They got money in their pockets. And she went home to Nigeria for 3 weeks. She said, Phrankleen, I had 1,200 pounds on me as spending money. Our older brother wouldn't even allow her to stay with them in Lagos. He said, my family, because I didn't know you were coming, you can't stay with us. And these are the people she was sending money to. Some of you, This is why I always make a point. I don't care what you do for a living. You may be a cleaner, you may be a bus driver, you may be a window cleaner, whatever floats your boat. As long as you're not breaking the law, you're not harming anybody, okay? Some of you here, the people, the brick wall between you and success are your family members. Some of you have been badly robbed. I know people that I've read their stories with 2, 3 jobs, and it's those immediate family members. Some of you, your parents, they're part of the connivance, your siblings, cousins, family members, uncles, those charlatans. They've been the one that have sabotaged you. They don't want to see you be happy. They don't want to see you shine. Some of you, I give you credit. My heart goes out to you. My brothers and sisters, you're online. You have tried. You have tried. It's not because you're less of a human or you're stupid or you're lazy. You have tried. I take beyond you. Some of you have, okay, oh, let's buy land. Some of you have tried. They took advantage. Thank you, Ajoke here. Learn to say no, man. And if I may say this, it's not for me to, I'm not here, it's just advice, you don't have to take it. It's not my job to break anybody's union or anything like that. I don't derive pleasure from it. But if a man is that crazy, I think the woman should move on if it's a better option for her. For me, Iwaikani, I think it's just wickedness to literally open my eyeballs and watch my children suffering, my wife in predicament, and I'm so pig-headed that at their detriment, I want to be sustaining some people. That's madness. Iwaikani. It's just madness. There's nobody that's waiting to give you an award or clap for you for playing Diaspora God. It's just madness. It's heightened foolishness. My uncle has 10 kids back home, and it's my mom who keeps sending money to support his family. 10 children. And your mom is supporting. Alayegon now, Olonio. 10 children. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine? A man is sexually active back home, pounding his wife or his wives to dust. 10. And then you in the diaspora, you're funding the man. Well, that's the definition of love. Oh, my. Alayegon now. Nobody's above blocking. Even my mama gave me headache, I would block. None of them knows how I'm suffering. And when I tell you I don't have, and you stress me, I will block without remorse. I agree. Hi, Phrankleen. Hold on. It's brainwashed not only my 10 kids. She's the one enabling the man to have more kids. 10 kids. Why does he keep having children when he can't afford them? Do you know what's funny? Children, we know when people talk about, oh, do you know the poverty that is in Nigeria? Do you know what's funny? After all is said and done about Africa, one of the things that Africans find it easy to bring to existence is what? Children. The same charlatans that will be telling you there's no money. Some of them got 5 children. Some of them got multiple women. They just have abundance of children everywhere. I even know one of my peers, my age mate, a guy, when I was in Nigeria for 3 months, I bumped into him in a banking hall. We're just having a chat. And one of our other friends was having a dig at him. And he was telling me that this guy, when he went to do something upstairs in the bank, and he said, do I know that this guy already has 6 children with 3 women? 6! And there's another one on the way that was due to be born at the end of December. So they've probably had that baby now. So that's baby number 7. And if you see this guy, he doesn't look like he even has a child. 7 children. And he doesn't look like he's about to stop. But when you have a conversation with these people, some of these people are the ones that will be telling you, oh, they are, man, there's no money. Oh, Buhari this, Buhari. Yeah, there's so many. They like having those children. So when you go home as a diaspora, ewa ọmọ, look at your children. Your children, wait, hold on. Wait, my children, I know who my children are. And I know where my children are. If you want me to say hello to your children, just let me say hello. Oh, your children are saying hello to you. Your children, they like to dump responsibility on your laps. Oh, my tiny. Àwọn ọmọ yín kí yín ẹ̀rí jọmí lójú ti dàgbà ó mì sí yín gan jọmí lójú kọ́ jọmí lẹ́sẹ̀. Yeah, sliding down the sugar wall is a pastime for them. Àwọn ọmọ yín bàtí mo sọ fún jọmí lójú pé ẹ ti dé láti UK báyìí kò tí ẹ lè sùn kó jẹun láti jẹta dáàdi jọmí lójú ti dé. Mo sọ fún báyìí pé àwọn dáàdi ẹ máa kó trainers bọ̀ fún láti London. Àwọn olè. Phrankleen, is it expensive to do Aleyos? Something asking 2005 for the, what's that? What's Aleyos? What's that? You're right. I lost over $80,000. Let me read that. I lost over $80,000 in investment with brother on haulage. 2 40-foot trailer down the drain. I had to restart. I cut off my brother for 3 years before my mother reconciled us. 80,000 US dollars. You gotta be freaking kidding me, man. That's a whole lot of bread. No disrespect. Me, gonna die for reconciliation. I ain't reconciling shit. What? Not many people have access to such money. Even retired people, $80,000. My man. My aunt wanted my sister to invite her 8-year-old daughter to US to a wedding. Then her 8-year-old could be raised by my 60-year-old. Oh man. Gonna die for reconciliation. 80 grand. My man. Wale Baltimore, thank you, brother, for the super chat. They are using the money to support their lavish habits. Bullseye. That's a lot of bread, man. I would be like a 3-headed dragon in that room. It would be World War III. Furniture would be flying. I would be like Shango. My mouth would be spitting. 80 grand. Fam. That's what I was saying earlier. A lot of diasporans have been absolutely sabotaged, ruined by who? Family. Look at what that brother just shared with us now. 80,000 US dollars. My mother would then say, Wambi, I want you people to reconcile because you both sucked on these breasts. So I want you, I don't want you to be mad at your bro. You forgive him, is your brother. The Bible says in the book of Matthew chapter 800K naira for family home renovation went into drain by my junior brother. You people are killing me tonight, Babs. 800K, and I hate to push you. So he renovated in his belly. And they're so quick to convert the amount to naira. Franklin, I don't know what to believe in my hobby anymore. Shirley Smith, I have learned to guard my heart. So many disappointments. Oh man. Now I found out his remaining siblings and mom want him to move on without me. Let me tell you something, Shirley. Even though I don't know, the full background to your story as you would appreciate, but you see, that last bit of your comment caught my attention. I found out his remaining siblings and mom want him to move on without me. Now, as long as I'm assuming you're a good person, yeah? Anytime the in-laws, your in-laws or your husband's mom or whatever siblings are in connivance to try to break a union, and they are basically trying to sabotage the union, it means they are unable to get you to conform, all right, to their sinister plans. They're probably not achieving their aims, and they believe there's a preconceived notion that you are the one in the way. It's a template, it's a prevalent template of destruction. They will get out of their way, they go above and beyond, try to sabotage that relationship. It's very common. In fact, it's not unique to you. It happens all day, every day, 365, 366, 24/7. They will work to sabotage the union. Now, holding together your union lies in the hands of both parties within the confines of that union. But in this circumstance, because it's coming from the direction of your husband's family, so he has a major responsibility on his shoulder to make sure, one, he protects, defends the interest of his lovely lady, which is you in this context, and protect the relationship, that to make you feel secure, he has a duty towards you. So if he's not doing that, I'm afraid it's an uphill battle. It's his duty to protect, to make sure the gate to that relationship remains airtight. You understand? It's very common. The reason why they want you to break away from that relationship is so they can put their claws fully into him and drain him of, his finance, and that's it. As simple as that. 80K could build a huge palatial mansion. Of course, Jules, you're my type of person. I was duped by a guy in ROI Nigeria, $2,000 last year, and that's the last they will ever get to. The guy just relocated to Europe while still acting like he's in the bees he proposed. Plus £300 mortgage. Sorry, I'm broke. This foolishness, of course. One bricklayer built a house when I was working in a bank, but some of my friends with me couldn't build a room. He renovated his tummy with beer and asun. I've lost count on how many people my husband supported. All you need is to ask, and the money flies to them. Believe me. There was a day, one of these shops where people used to send money to Nigeria. I was there, and there was this man. He's like in his early 60s, and we were on a queue. People will be on a queue to send money next, and you send whatever money you want to send to Nigeria. This man was just coming, 62-year-old man. And so he recognized me. I was in that shop too. He was, oh, Mr. Phrankleen, how are you? So we got talking, right? And then we're just chatting. The man was telling me he was about to send some money home. He lives alone in the UK. And he said he was planning to move back. He's already built 2 houses in Nigeria. He works very hard. 62-year-old man. And he said, Franklin, my plan is before 65, I return to Nigeria and all that. So we're chatting. Do you know that whilst the guy that helps him send the money, the man was only going to send 150,000 naira. I mean, 150 pounds, forgive me. The man that sends the money already knows how to divide. He would divide that 150 pounds into, I think, 4 bank accounts. And the guy did the sending of the money. He has already converted it and broken it into chunks, 4 parts, as he normally does on a monthly basis. And he said, Franklin, watch my phone. And as soon as the money was credited to the relevant bank accounts, we were there just chatting. And lo and behold, in less than 20 minutes, the first WhatsApp call came from Lagos. One of the people, ẹ̀gbọ́n, nìkan, àwọn yẹn wò sá, kò lè tó, yẹn, mo tẹ̀ ti fi pé bóyá ìlọ́po mẹ́rin ẹ̀ lẹ́ máa jù lóṣù yìí. In English, that person had seen the bank alert and was already saying, I thought I would get the 4-fold of the amount you normally send because, things are now expensive and that money is not good enough. You know what the man said in front of me? He has a very mellow nature. So the man said, Dotun, if that money is not enough, I will tell you for the last time. All you have to do is tell me to stop sending you that money, that amount on a monthly basis. So I can perhaps give it to someone else or leave it in my bank account. So I'm going to ask you here and now, do you want me to stop this amount of money? There was silence on the other end of the line. Hello? And he cut the call. He hung up on this man. Do you see what I'm saying? And I remember standing there. I roared with laughter. We were laughing. And the man said, as a matter of fact, Franklin, next month, I'm going to stop sending him money. Because my gut feeling tells me I'm just wasting my money. And I told him, whatever floats your boat. It's never enough. You understand? This man actually, he has an interesting story. According to him, he said he's thankful to the universe because he has a lovely wife, a diligent wife. They grew up together. So he goes home very often. His wife was the one that managed all his building projects in Nigeria. So the wife is back home, did the raising of his children. He has always been here. He goes home very often, but he said his wife is at the forefront of his affairs and she has never let him down. That's not the story for a lot of people. Do you understand me? But the man said his wife, so his family, they have all these years, they've not been able to penetrate and hijack as much as they would hijack because his wife has been the one at the forefront of affairs, and he lets his wife handle his affairs, and that works for him nicely. His children are grown, and I'm sure he's probably back in Nigeria now. What questions can I ask of my Nigerian girlfriend? So they don't have money, but you see them in festivity. Yeah, like I said to you before, man, so we can drop the shutters on this show. It's the order of things. It is. I've said it to you over and over. I saw this myself. The people back home, when you are dealing with a locally based Nigeria, the conversation between a locally based Nigerian and a Nigerian in the diaspora, the locally based Nigerian is automatically tuned to lie to you. Their job, their position, 9 out of 10 times is to finesse you, to extort you. Very few people will tell you the truth. Construction of ghost properties for kids abroad is very common in Nigeria and Kenya and those countries. They will never tell you the truth. They will never ever tell you the truth. The more money you give, the more demand for the almighty dollar, pound sterling, euros, of course. They don't care. My husband took over $5,000 of my money to do business in Nigeria and then decided to stop paying rent for 4 months. Is now not sleeping home I'm looking into separation or divorce. We have 2 kids. My husband took over $5,000 of my money to do business in Nigeria and then decided to stop paying rent for 4 months. I think he's now not sleeping at home. I'm looking into separation or divorce. We have 2 kids. Man. Maybe try to sit down and have a chat with him. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you've done that, Omar Aziz. Man. Hit the like button, man. Come on, man. Smash the like button. Smash that like button. Like that like button. Yeah. Smash it. Thank you. So, that's the story, man. Learn to say no. Prioritize yourself. If you're here for the 1,000,000th and one time and you're playing God at the detriment of, particularly if you have children, you are canny. It's just wickedness. It's wickedness wrapped in madness, wrapped in foolishness. Orí àwọn ọmọ yẹn gan máa fìyà jẹ. Ẹlẹ́dàá àwọn ọmọ yẹn máa fìyà jẹ. It's not fair. Phrankleen, these stories only demonstrate that we in the diaspora have the money and capital needed to change our immediate family's future, yet we wallow in poverty. Purple hibiscus. Thank you for that. That's exactly one of my points. I'm telling you, man. There are so many people. Let me let you in on a little secret. This goes to particularly my diasporan brothers and sisters that have been disconnected from home. Don't be blinded by the propaganda. Some of you, I'm not saying you're stupid. Some of you don't appreciate, don't understand the strength of the money that you're making here in the West. You've acclimatized with the UK cultural system because that's where you are. You've disconnected from back home for so long. You're sucked into the American system or the European system. You're in Australia or whatever. You've not gone home in years. You don't, yes, you make whatever money monthly, you pay bills, a chunk of that goes, and you don't know. Come and build back home. Come and talk to me about project management. When I was on ground and I was at the forefront, within the 3 months, I was at the forefront of some projects. It's amazing to see what your little £1,000 can achieve as part of an ongoing building project. You will be amazed. Some of you by now should have owned 1 or 2 building properties back home, assets, major assets, but you're blinded by life in the West. You're blinded by these unscrupulous members. You think, oh, until you've piled up some huge amount of money, it's a lie. You can start today if you want. You need a clear, reliable structure and approach to executing these things. You may be here in the West and you don't have more than 4 shirts in your wardrobe. It's okay. Use your resources wisely. All of your efforts, I pray they don't end up in vain. I'm telling you, man. A brother told me a couple of weeks ago that he hadn't been to Nigeria in about 11 years. He went home and he was marveled at, he went to a friend's building site and he was asking questions. Let me respond to this. Somebody said, but the cost of building material has gone up. Gift. Let me respond to that. The cost of things generally in life will always go up. The cost of a plot of land 10 years ago, 5 years ago, in a particular location is not the same as it is today. Of course, there was a time when a bag of cement was 500 naira. It's not the same today. What did I say? A few months ago when I was back home, a bag of cement was what? 3,005. Somebody said earlier it's 4,005 or whatever because prices have gone up. Sometimes they come down. So what? That shouldn't dissuade you. Don't. Don't. Do you know the secret behind building a home, owning your own properties? Do you know what the secret is? Can I tell you? And I'm telling you honestly, start. Make a start. Just make a start. Take it from me tonight. Make a start. There's a difference between you're talking about the prices of building materials. You've done nothing for yourself, right? You're saying, oh yeah, the prices of cement, oh the price of this, and you fold your arms. People are working on their projects daily. Go to Nigeria, people are building every day. I've got emails about people talking to me about managing projects for them. If you make a start, £1,000 is 750,000 naira. I will show you what that will achieve. I'm not telling you £1,000 will build a whole house. Of course not. You will be amazed how far you will push your project. You get another £1,000, put it in. You get a little £2,000, put it in. Before you blink, within the 2 shakes of a dog's tail, you will complete your project. Do you understand? Ordinary fence and gate, I did last month. The excitement was live. It was like I win lottery. Yeah, I did. I appreciate you, man. Do you understand? I know the feeling. Ordinary, don't call it ordinary. Doing your fence and a gate on your landed property, some would love to be able to achieve what you've achieved. So I can imagine the feeling. But the proceeds from renting out properties in Africa is nothing when converted to pounds and dollars. No. Let me give you a secret. The old template of building a property, asking somebody to pay you rent per year, is being phased out. Short lets is the way forward. That's where the money is. Did you hear what I said? Short lets. Not building a house and putting a tenant in to pay you rent on a yearly basis. No. Short lets. Somebody said 1983 bag of cement was 7 naira. And I can assure you, the same 7 naira in 1983, there will be people that will moan in 1983 that the 7 naira was too much. That's life. The thing about the prices of cement as well, for example, or any other building stuff is sometimes they go down a bit when things adjust themselves a little bit. What is short let? Short let is when you have like apartments, like you build apartments and they use them for like Airbnb. It's not like a hotel, it's an apartment. And then, you know, that people can stay overnight, 2-3 days, short lets. You understand me? They can, so basically it can be maybe 50,000 naira per night, 40,000 naira per night, even up to 60,000, depending on the location. Yeah, it's a big business. You make a ton of money in a year compared with you build a normal apartment and then you put somebody in there to rent for 1 year. Short-term letting. Anyway, that's me done. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you. Yeah, like Airbnb. Thank you for the super chat, for listening to me. I appreciate you. My name is Phrankleen. Smash the like button. And I will most definitely catch you in the very next one. Happy holidays. Bye-bye now.